Let me adjust this mic. For whatever reason, this game just continues to move. I don't know why, folks. So I may have been a little loud when I first came on, but how's everybody doing, man? We are super late. Technical difficulties, man, but all that matters is that we come on. We're going to try our best, man, to not have situations anymore where you just don't know what we're doing. So I would say, on behalf of Smitty and I, if you don't see a tweet saying we're not having a show, then we'll probably still have a show. It might just be a little later than expected, as you see here tonight. But hopefully everybody is doing great. We're not going to be too long, I don't think, unless we get our guests that come through. We had planned to do a roundtable tonight, hence what it says in the title. I don't want to mislead anyone if we can't get to that. But, we plan to have a couple guests. NY Kia and our good buddy Zulu wants to come on and we just, kick it and talk about Madden. Either way, I wouldn't expect the show to be too long, even though we're starting late, because we really just have that one topic. But while we wait to see if anybody's going to come through, as far as our guests, me and Smitty will do our normal rundown. You're not seeing us on screen. That's part of our technical difficulties tonight. We will explain that. But like we always do, Smitty, how was your week? Anything you want to discuss about the Lions or anything else outside of Madden? I'll do the same, and then we'll dive right into it.
Um, I mean, Lions are in the spot there, and they had the bye week, so they haven't played yet. So just gotta wait and see what happens this week. I mean, is there any excitement or anything like that? Looking forward to the game? No, what I'm saying. No, I mean, I'll be happy once Patricia is fired. You know what I'm saying? And like that's when that'll basically the way this season is looking. I mean, you got people doubting Stafford and all that stuff and everything now and everything, and it's like he was in first he was in mid-season form before the season started. Now doubting him. Like, nah, you can't blame Stafford because of what the situation that he's surrounded by. That's not his fault. He can't, he's not the offensive coordinator. He can't make anything any better. Like, he can't. It doesn't rest on him. So the coaches got to coach, the coordinators got to coordinate and make things happen. You got to coach these dudes up, regardless of who you insert into that team. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you got Adrian Peterson that can run and can get you the yardage. It's not like he's used up, but like I've said before, it doesn't matter who you put in that secondary. I mean, not secondary, who you put in that backfield. If you're not able to produce the holes to create those running lanes for him to really do work, you're gonna get the game is gonna get stagnant, and then you're gonna become one dimensional again, regardless of having three running backs. I mean, you have three running backs that you really can use and be versatile with. And if it ain't working, hey, if you're not able to make things work offensively with your ground attack, that's a problem. I mean, that's what's going to open things up for the Lions and quit making them predictable on that side of the ball. Defensively, they need all the work done. I mean, they need all the work. Goodness gracious, you're at the bottom of the barrel. So when it comes to defensively, like you can't stop nothing. So that's terrible, and that directly is tied to the coach because it's not like they don't have talent. They have talent to get the job done, or to be better than serviceable. They can be more than serviceable, but it all comes down to scheming. It seriously comes down to that. So I'm sorry. Like when we look at the New England Patriots, and it's not like their defense was lined up with nothing but superstars. I mean, yes, did they have some studs? Yeah, they had some studs, but they're not lined up with just nothing but stoppers all over the field. No, it's just you got to coach people up. You know what I'm saying? You coach people up, and they end up performing for you. Like they know there's a level of prestige that comes with being coached by oh man, I'm thinking for whatever reason I'm thinking of Bill Parcells. I'm like, but no, it's not him, but my man Belichick. There it is. So you got to be on point. It ain't like that for Patricia. Patricia doesn't have that level of prestige. It's quite the opposite. You got players like excited to leave and get up out of Detroit because of you. So there's clearly a problem. But you know, it is what it is. So I think we play the Jaguars this week. So more than likely the Jags will get off and possibly win, do their thing. And then the Lions will underachieve. So it won't be a shock to me at all. Um, but the one thing that I will say though is okay. Now NBA finals are over, and yes, LeBron and them. Lakers won,
Lakers.
and you know what I'm saying. And like I said, LeBron did the superstar thing. And look, I'm going to say this: what cracked me up was when I saw LeBron sit up here talk about some trust the process. What process? What process, dude? Seeing other media outlets talk about hashtag revenge season. What revenge season? This dude literally read up with star power. Like that's literally what happened. He didn't come back with the team he had and before and just go through adversity. He ran from it. He fell to the back like he does, and he retreated from it and just basically pointed at everybody else and said, man, y'all got to get rid of these guys. I need a superstar. I need superstars over here. And that's what happened. And the thing is, you went up against a Miami Heat team that lost basically their top producers for at least 2.5 games. Yeah, that's going to, excuse me, they lost their second leading scorer for what, 3 games? Yeah, well, no, I'm sorry. Was that 3 games or four? I'm talking about Dragic. I think for 4 games he was out.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, yeah, and I mean, I'm not taking anything away in terms of them winning now. But those are real factors. That's like LeBron losing AD. You know what I'm saying? Or LeBron goes down, and then it's just AD there. It probably would have won 7 games if you had a catastrophic loss on both teams like that, and then that would have made it for a more interesting final. But other than that, I mean, I can't get mad at that LA won it. You know what I'm saying? Miami, they did their best, but they were that honestly that was a team right there that went up against them. That went up against them boys. So I got to give it to them. But like I said before, Bron is a great player and he's a great talent. And I know I see the Bron stands in here, and it's all good. But the
Smitty a
thing is,
hater.
LeBron, right? You know what I'm saying? LeBron's the best player. LeBron's the best player. He's the most talented player that is afraid of adversity. When adversity comes running, he goes the opposite direction.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll say this real quick. I'm gonna take somebody that doesn't have the size, but is very talented though. And let's say if he did the same thing, Allen Iverson. Okay, now how many NBA titles you think AI would have if he did what LeBron did? I'm just gonna paint a picture real quick. Let's say he did the reverse. AI comes into the NBA in '96, right? He came in '96. So let's say he comes in '96 and he's drafted by the Sixers. Now he's drafted by him, so we can't help that. But let's just say he joins that team, and let's say Shaq and Grant Hill that summer say, "Hey, we joining up." So
Mm.
he's riding along with them. Plus, they got a Stackhouse. They have Jerry Stackhouse over there too. That's coming into form. So you got Stack, Shaq. You got AI who ends up, he's just getting started, but he was a beast after that first year. And then you got Shaq, with G Hill. Those are that's stout talent right there. That team right there is going to win at least 3 championships. At least, I would say at least 2. Shaq, I mean, not Shaq, excuse me. Those Bulls teams, they would have won. They would have won. They wouldn't have three-peated. They wouldn't have had that second three-peat. They may have won in '96, but then they probably would have lost either '97 or '98 because them boys were going to come through. That's too much to deal with. But that's the point. Let's say they do that for a good 3-4 year span. Then let's say Grant Hill has his injury with the ankle, and now AI is like, oh man, we ain't hitting the same way we used to. Now it's getting tough. You know what? I'm gonna go to LA. Hey Shaq, let's go to LA where Kobe at. Let's go over there with Kobe and join him. All right, bet. Now it's Shaq, Kobe, and AI running it over there in LA. You think they're gonna win just 3 chips? No, they're gonna win like four. At least they're gonna go to the finals maybe a good 4, 5, 6 times potentially. So he does that. Now Shaq gets older. Kobe may get a little bit frustrated. Oh man, don't want to deal with that adversity again. Oh, we not the same team. So now, what does he go ahead and do? Hey, you know what? There's this young guy, LeBron. He looks pretty good. Hey, Wade, you're looking pretty good too. Hey man, let's all click up together and play. You see what I'm saying? And think about it. If AI did a move like that, he wouldn't have had nearly as many injuries. He would have been able to sustain way longer. He would be able to play many more seasons. So I mean, I'm not saying like he would have been able to play another 10 years, but I'm saying he would have been able to play multiple seasons, and at the same time he'd be able to stuff the stat sheet, make all kind of records. You know what I'm saying? He would have been to the finals over 10 times, probably would have won maybe 6, 7, 8 chips, possibly something like that. So you see my point is that when you stack the deck like that, and then you all of a sudden poke your chest out and say stuff like trust the process and you talk smack and all that kind of stuff, if you really trying to flex when you gotta start from zero and actually make it happen. Flex when you actually have to go through the trial and tribulations of building up a team to be a championship contender. That's when you can flex. Dirk getting the one ring that he got, he can flex better than LeBron could do with any of them rings he got. Because LeBron he had to hire star power in order to have a chance. So that's just the reality. And I know some of you guys don't like hearing the truth, but this is what the situation is. I'm not concerned about I'm not concerned about a guy just coming through and he just wins just because he gets some superstar help, regardless of him being a great player. I mean, heck, if Jordan did the same thing and he paired up with Bird and Magic, and then later on he goes to the Detroit Pistons and runs with them. And then after that, he leaves them and joins with Shaq. Like I said, I could say Shaq and Penny in Orlando. And then he goes from that to playing with, you see what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know what? I want to go to the West Coast now. So I'm gonna get with Sean, I'm gonna get with Kemp and Peyton, and I'm gonna run it with them. Like, that's what LeBron did. So it's like he's a phenomenal player and he is a all-time great, no question. But when you look at that Mount Rushmore category, yeah, you can't etch that man's face on there because he he took the easy way out. You know what I'm saying? The only guy that I could look at exceptionally in that way is Bill Russell because looking at his the teams that he was drafted by the Celtics, and a lot of the teams that he played on, a lot of those guys were Hall of Famers. I mean, they ended up being Hall of Fame players. So he had great players on his team the majority of his career. So I can't get mad at that and be like, yeah, he got 11 rings. Like, yeah, look at the teams he had. You know what I'm saying? He had some really talented guys on his team. But now, whether they were free agents, draft picks, whatever, the thing is, Bill was there the whole time. He didn't, it wasn't like he went from one team to the next and just jumped on board. So, and he pulled his weight too. He put up the numbers too. So that's what I'm saying. You know, LeBron's a great player. He's one of the greatest talents. Like I said, he's one of the greatest talents ever to exist. But he also runs when the going gets tough. He never does. He does not stick around for when that going gets tough. As soon as that flame as soon as it got hot in the kitchen, he ran from it. And that's the difference. So, and one other thing too, I just want to say this, Sim. Now, I'm just switching this to the football side real quick because of the whole Le'Veon Bell signing, right?
Oh
Look at the
man.
Chiefs. Now, think about this. How much easier would it be for Mahomes if I know this is fantasy talk here, but let's say they got Antonio Brown. He says, "I'm gonna get a dose of act right. I want to come and join you guys." Then some way somehow they get my man from the Texans, Hopkins. They get him over there, and then they also get uh who's my man, not OBJ, but let's say he gets another top tier wide receiver to play on that team, and they're able to lock them boys in with Kelsey that he already has, and lock them boys in for a good 4 years. That's gonna make it light work for him to cruise through and win chips. You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. It's not hate. Like that's not hate. It's like you just made it that much simpler. Is Kurt Warner a phenomenal quarterback? No. In my opinion, he's not.
Yeah.
But when you had the boys that you had in St. Louis, all you got to do is chuck it. I mean, that's literally how it looked like. He just threw the ball up, and one of those great receivers that he had were able to get that. So that's it, man. I know some of you guys got that LeBron. Y'all got that LeBron tattoo on your back and everything. It's all good, man. It's all good. They hate the truth, man. They hate the truth about their boy. That's their boy.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Well, go
with
ahead, Sil.
yeah, I'll be really quick, man, and then we'll be out of here. As far as that, we'll jump right to the Madden. It
Yeah.
looks like, guys, it looks like the round table is probably not going to happen tonight. And it probably rightfully so, man. We had some crazy technical difficulties. At one point, my audio went completely out on the computer. Finally figured that out, and then we can't get Skype to show both me and Smitty. Like the kind of like how Zoom does when you one person speaks and it shows one. It's weird stuff happening tonight, man. So what we'll do, me and Smitty will just give our quick thoughts on the current state of Madden 21, and I'll kind of lead it as far as what I want to talk about is what we have now compared to what we might see on next gen and why it's so paramount. And then that'll be it. We won't have a super long show tonight. But as far as the comment on what Smitty is saying, I'm kind of with my man in the chat here, sick with it. That's how I feel too. I don't think anybody is wrong for their opinions, who they want to compare to who. But I kind of feel the same way. I don't really compare the eras. And you guys know I said that last week. It's I don't compare LeBron to Jordan at all. Quite frankly, they're not even the same type of player at no kind of way. LeBron came in the game as, he was the facilitator, as we learned, for you guys that didn't know already, but as most of you learned in the last dance, Mike kind of had to be coached to include his people. Mike was more of a Kobe. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Or should I say Kobe was more of like the Mike, and we all know that story. But it's like them dudes was like, give me the ball, get out of my way. That won't ever LeBron. Different positions as far as him and Mike. I mean, it's just a different era. And, I agree with Smitty. I don't like everybody teaming up either. But like I said last week, and let me be brief, man, because I don't want to rehash it. But we got to put a lot of people in that boat in this current era. I mean, we go all the way back to one of the guys that I've always loved just because of his passion. Look at what Garnett, Pierce, and Anthony Walker did. I mean, you got to even go back to that to where you're going to say, okay, we're going to team up. Ray Allen comes through. They draft Rondo. You know what I'm saying? So even back then again, you got to look at what LeBron did, going to Miami and, the whole press conference. I'm taking my talents. South Beach. I mean, we ain't need all that. But at the end of the day, y'all know how I feel about KD. But we're gonna leave that alone. As far as just the move, not personal with none of these dudes. Like Smitty said, Smitty is not saying LeBron ain't great. But Smitty has valid points as far as his criticism towards LeBron, and that's Smitty's opinion. I'm cool with that. It ain't I can't tell Smitty any different. It's not like he's hating on him. But like I said, me personally, I just don't compare it because this era, everybody's doing that. Like we even got to kind of look at Kawhi now. Even though Kawhi did, he definitely did, you know, get his thing on in Toronto. You know, he got his thing on when he was at the Spurs, when he was the young pup. But then even when him coming to the Clippers, that was kind of one of those situations like, I gotta have PG. We know that now that he asked for that. So it's kind of, it's just today's era. But I do think LeBron is a great. Um, Only place where I might, differ from Smitty is I actually might have to put him on the Mount Rushmore, man, just because of the talent that he is and his longevity. I've stopped counting the championships because let me say this one final time. I am with Stephen A. Smith all the way with this. Michael Jordan is always going to be number one for me, period. We can easily end that conversation by saying the man was 6-0. He went to the finals. He won the finals, period. No game seven. That nobody else has ever done that. So, and honestly, I don't know if I don't know the games and all of that when Bill Russell was winning championships. That's before all of our time. But I'm talking about the guys that we all can really say who we think were the best. Most of us here were young, but we was in the Jordan era. We saw that. We grew up on Kobe. We saw LeBron, the AIs of the world. We were lucky enough to see another one of my favorite players, Barkley, and those dudes, Sean Kemp. We seen all of that. So I'm talking that whole era from then to now. I can't really speak on Wilt, because people always want to throw that at me too. Like, what about Wilt Chamberlain? Like, dog, I ain't see Wilt Chamberlain play. So I'm sure he was great, but it's hard for me. Same thing people say about boxing, and I'm gonna end it here. And this is a conversation I never jump in. Y'all know how passionate I am about boxing. People want to debate who was better, Ali or Floyd. Come on, man. You can't. I mean, some people never saw obviously Ali fight, so it's hard for them to. It's hard for the average person nowadays to recognize his greatness unless you're into boxing. So of course people gonna say Floyd Mayweather because that's who they grew up to. You understand what I'm saying? That's the same reason why people say Kobe was better than Jordan, LeBron is better than Jordan. But yeah, I kind of leave eras to themselves, if you will. We can move on. Hold on, guys. Smitty sent me a little chat here. Let me make sure I ain't missing nothing.
Yeah, you was talking about boxing. You may want to check that out right there. I know we was gonna
Oh,
talk about Madden, but
yeah,
may
man.
want to. Hey, we gonna be able to. I mean, you got the gaming PC. I got that too. So you may
Yeah,
want to may
buddy.
want to touch that. You know what I'm saying? may want to
Yeah,
may want to
man.
touch that up a little bit.
In case you
You know,
guys didn't see it, it's this new boxing game from what is it, Steel City Interactive.
City
Shout
Interactive.
outs
Yeah,
to Sports Gamers Online. I know they have been talking about it. They got a feature on it today as well. I didn't get a chance to check that out, but apparently there's some new screenshots. I don't know if it's gameplay footage, but let me link you guys to this as well. But man, I will say this, and SGO was saying it when they did their first video. The graphics that this game is showing,
yeah,
man, I want to see it in action to be sure, but this looked like
yeah,
a amazing looking next gen experience. Let me post this really quick.
yeah. Said
Yeah.
physics based combat
Okay.
using real life weight to limb ratios and
Ah,
velocity impacts.
come on, man.
Every big power punch can be felt with real time damage and staggers. A simulation boxing RPG. It'll feature the deepest RPG mechanics as seen in a combat based boxing game. More details to follow.
We own it. I'm on it. You need to say
So,
no more.
you know what I'm saying? like,
Say no
now,
more.
the thing that they said though was that it's going to be the next gen version is going to come out initially on PC because that's what they could really max out at.
Mm,
They're going to do the PS5 and X, so it is going to come on next gen, but it's not going to come. They said Q4 2021, I think they
got you.
said.
Got you.
So if you have a gaming PC or at least a decent one, you'll be able to get down on it December. So that's not too far away from now. I mean, they don't have a day, but I'm looking at the Twitter account. I mean, even on their Twitter account, they have it in their description that it's coming early access December 2020 on PC. So
Woo.
that's what's up, man. So I hope they're able to keep that time frame. And they just added Lou DiBella. They just said that
Oh
they added
wow.
Lou DiBella, Hall of Fame promoter, to the joint. So yeah. So
Well,
I
you
hope
know,
the game, I hope it's on point. But the cool thing, we could see it in the early access and see what's really good with it, if it's legit or not. So that's the cool thing about PC, especially Steam and all that. You could play the game as it's in development process. So
man,
good
it bet
stuff,
not
man.
be on. It bet not be like y'all remember when 2K's what was it?
Oh
Don
no, no,
Don King's Prize Fighter.
oh no, not
Man,
that.
that joint was horrible. Man.
Yeah,
I was
that
so
was.
depressed because y'all got to remember, back in them times, I'm going to be off with my years here. I don't remember guys, but around those times, I think that's when the 2K NBA 2K 7 and 8 around those times. Like it was enough. It was around the time where we all was like, yo, 2K is the deal. So
Yeah,
when they said they was coming out with a boxing, and it might have even been from 2K5, but I know most of us were into 2K at that time. We was like, yo, this game probably gonna be good because 2K got a reputation. And man, what a letdown. Wow. So I'm just hoping it's not gonna be one of those situations, man. But we'll see. But man, let's go ahead and jump into this Madden stuff, man. Ironically, man, I got a league game here that I have to play tonight, man. I'm gonna try to even start it early while we're on the show, prematurely here if I can. Last week of the season, like I said in my video I posted a little while ago, well, yesterday, we're gonna talk about that. Um, I'm sitting at 10-5, man. Look, my division is crazy right now. I'm looking at it right now. The Ravens owner who always gives me problems, he is currently 13-3. Uh, it's the Ravens, the Broncos, the Raiders, the Bills, yeah boy, and then the Browns, and then the Jaguars. So where we at? Let me see. One, two, three, four, five. I'm at five right now. This guy that I'm about to play usually gives me fits. I actually beat him early in the season, ironically. I'm sitting at 10-5. He's at 10-5. But it looks like, regardless whether I win or lose, I'm in the playoffs because the worst I could be is 10-6. It looks like. And yeah, I think I'm gonna get the nod over most of these guys. But I don't care. To be honest. Listen. Let's get right to it, man. I'm gonna keep it semi short and sweet if I can. I've been saying for a very long time, man, that Madden 21 current gen is really like whatever. Um, I'm not saying because I don't want to sound like a hypocrite. I'm not a hypocrite, but you always have to watch what you say because there's always people, which baffles me till this day, Smitty. People always want to judge what others say and clock their moves. That is the corniest stuff in the world, especially online. Like I don't understand it. I don't come from this type of cloth. We talked about errors earlier. I ain't cut from that type of cloth, man, and that ain't my era. Where we so concerned with what others do, and somebody change their mind or somebody, I don't. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen, and whoever hears this and think I'm talking about them, I'm just generalizing. But if you fall in this category, yeah, you're a sucker for that. It's corny. You see it all day long on Twitter. Like it kills me. But anyway, so I'm not sounding like a hypocrite. I'm not saying you can't play Madden 21 and get some enjoyment out of it, especially in our league. In the video I posted yesterday, I showed you guys that was a game that ended up 14-7, me against the Bills. Um, Wait a minute. Speaking of which, how could he be ahead of me? That's weird. I beat him. I should be above him in the AFC. We both for 10-5, but that I won that game. You guys saw it, and weird. Okay, I don't know. I don't know how. It's probably another one of them glitches. But literally, he is. And let me see. Let me see. We're gonna do this in real time, guys, so we can see all of the problems of Madden. Is it divisional wins or conference wins? But I still should have, to my knowledge, you guys in the chat, check, correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Doesn't the head-to-head trump everything? So let's say a team has more conference and or a better divisional record. If we're both 10-5, doesn't the head take precedence over that?
It
Uh,
should. It should, I believe.
I would think so because it's saying here.
Y'all in the same division, right? Same
No, we
division.
not. He's in the AFC East. I'm in the AFC North. Both of our win percentage is 66.7. Let's see. Home wins, we both have 6. Home losses, I have 2. He has 1. Road wins,
Oh,
we both have the same.
that may
Maybe
be
that's
it.
it. Yeah, that might be it.
Because you got the extra loss. That's why.
Yeah, but it's we got the same record though. That's why I thought the head to head would trump it. We both it says both of us are 10-5, which I don't believe that's correct either. You know why? Because last night, wait a minute, huh? That can't be right. I swear it said that the Bills were out of the playoffs after I won the game. I don't know, whatever. Like that, see what I'm saying, folks? There's little things like that. But anyway, who cares what happens? Let's get back to the point.
Right.
Um, it's like you have moments, man, where the game is okay when you play against like-minded people. Again, y'all, I showed you guys a 14-7 game. You don't see that often. You do when guys are playing like-minded and we're trying to strategize versus cheesing. You saw in those 2 examples that I displayed, great stuff. I'm able to put the ball exactly where I wanted to go. Find Chase Claypool for the touchdown, which that's funny because it kind of resembles what happened against the Eagles in real life. Claypool has the game-winning touchdown, so to speak. And then the other example, the pass to Juju. And I'm actually, when Smitty goes, I'm actually going to see if I can put the video on screen so you guys have something to look at in case you didn't see it. And again, that ain't plugging enough. And I just want y'all to see the example. The the game has those moments. That's why I called the video Fool's Gold. But in short, I'm so sick and tired of the same problems, guys. And I'm not talking about the minor details like, sidelines and little stuff like I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fundamental things within the coding or what have you. The two-man animation sequencing that overrides every single thing you do. Makes no difference what you're doing on the controller, you or the defender. The computer has decided we're going to play you this pretty animation that we consider pretty. Tie these guys together. We already know what's going to happen. That happens way too much in Madden, all across the field. The trenches, it happens. I even heard today, and then I just saw the update just took effect. I haven't played it, but I heard people saying that now they've increased pass rushing as far as the block shedding. That's already a problem. Listen to what I said. They increase pass rush block sheds. There's that dial again that we talk about. Turn it up, turn it down. Where's the dynamic stuff? How can you ever have any type of, you know, any resemblance of dynamic gameplay when everything can be dialed up or down? And I get it to some degree. You have to have these, mechanisms in the background on most games for it to function. But that shouldn't be the only reason why pass rush is better. What if the game was built off of leverage and momentum and all that? And maybe you could adjust that, i.e., NHL. What if you could go in and say, well, now we're going to make weight and momentum more of a factor in the trenches, which means we should get more pass rush and better wins or losses based on the matchup. Whoa, that sounds like a great plan. That ain't how it works right now. And bottom line, I'm just tired of that, man. It's every year. We get some good things in Madden, but it's always held back by the problems in the fundamental coding. Just like Smitty says this example all the time. All of the beautiful work that A-Dub, attempts to put in the game, he can't even really fire the game up and allow the game to showcase what he's put in.
Right.
That's a serious problem. So, in short, going over to next gen, and again, I'm judging it this year. I don't want to hear, well, it's the first iteration. No, 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 no. And shout outs to, man, in case he hears this video, if he's here, shout outs to Eric Rayweather, man. Big things he's doing on his channel, huge channel over there. And what did he say in one of his, I think the video yesterday or the day before? He said exactly what I said. No, 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 no. Y'all are talking about this year. You are specifically advertising next level Madden 21. You're not saying next level Madden in general. So the way you can, give us that little sneaky marketing and say, well, we're just saying what we'll be able to do. No, 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 no. You're specifically saying and advertising Madden and FIFA 21 next level with an article displaying what we are supposed to see and expect. And like I said last week, what is this AI? No, this whatever they call it, this stats-driven player movement. What is that? I want to know what that's supposed to be, and how is that going to work? So that's what it's about, guys. Man, it's one of these things where, quite frankly, I'm getting tired of it, man. I'm really. I know I once told you guys that I would continue to give feedback and keep pushing it, and I will to some degree, but I'm telling you, we get over to these next gen consoles, and some of the biggest issues are blatantly still there. Mm-mm.
Mhm.
And let me explain what I mean by that, Smitty, and then definitely take it away from there. What I mean
Mhm.
by blatantly, if we see the 2-man animation still beginning like 5 yards away, that's blatant. That's blatantly just bringing the same thing over. I'm sure you're going to see some things in NBA 2K that resemble current gen. Everything is not going to be changed, I wouldn't expect. But all of this stuff that they've said that they've done as far as building from the ground up, you see it in this last blog. And I didn't get a chance to read the whole thing because I want to digest it. But I saw those clips, the body collisions and all. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That looked like something different. That don't look like, they don't bump and collide smoothly like that in current gen. That's something you can clearly see. Okay, y'all did some work. We need to see stuff like that for Madden. Significant jump in player movement, player interaction, and physics. If that is not the case, and it's a straight port over, I might have to take a back seat, man. I ain't lying, Smitty. I am telling you, it might just come down to we just doing it here on Thursday. But my channel, and it is what it is, man. If I got to sacrifice views and all that, honestly, it ain't even that important no more. I will continue to focus on this. Me and Smitty will do this, and this will be the place where we get into Madden or whatever. Of course, I'm gonna continue to do my Steelers stuff and all, and that'll be it. And
Yeah.
I'll just, focus on other games, views or not. Just to put some content out. I can't keep, bumping my head up against the wall. I can't, man. I can't do it, Smitty. I'm burnt out. I am burnt out, bro. Cause again, man. Cause if it comes over like that, it's just letting us know that there's no real intention from up above, and that's all I want people to understand. We are frustrated with the overarching development strategy at that studio, not the devs. So if they come over to this new console with nothing being reconstructed, redone, rebuilt, okay. I advise y'all to go look at some other channels for Madden content. Cause it won't be online. I'm telling you.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say though is that and I mean even to the chat and everybody, like, the thing to think about is, especially at this point, today is today is Thursday, December the 15th.
October.
By this October, I'm sorry, I'm looking at
Smitty thinking about
the
that boxing.
date.
He trying to get to December.
I think, yeah, yeah, man. I'm trying to get it.
Yeah, that's gonna
you
be that
know, you
Christmas
know,
present.
that thing gonna be crazy, boy. I hope
I
so.
hope
I
so. Yeah.
hope so. That's the key. But the thing is that it's October 15th, and the crazy thing is next month, like by this point right now, we would be what, 3 days into, well, excuse me, if we go by Thursday, that would technically be the 12th. PlayStation PlayStation 5 would be out today. At this point, a month from today.
Yeah.
Xbox will be out on Tuesday. These consoles will be out. We ain't heard Nathan about what's going on with Madden. Nothing.
2K out
2K got
before
their
them.
second blood. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
When
They
does
already
that
got their
usually happen?
second blood.
That don't
Right.
never happen when 2K
You
is leading the way with information.
yeah. They
Mm.
wouldn't have had it out like that. And this is the thing, we're seeing the details. We're looking at the, oh man, people said, oh, it's the same game, same game, same game. These details don't sound nothing like the same game. And they're talking about key problems that we all have voiced, I don't know how many times. Speed boosting, warping, shifting. Foot, they're talking about player movement, bodily collisions being respected, all that. Now we got to see how it plays,
Right.
but the thing is, like, I don't have as hard of a time believing 2K
Hmm.
because they actually have delivered on their stuff for the most part, not always, because they said in 2K16 that the foot planting was supposed to be 1-to-1, and it wasn't. So that, so it's like some things they may have had the intent on delivering on, but they just couldn't honestly do it. Now they're talking about how they are eradicating things, or that's like the ultimate goal. But the key thing that I liked when I was reading through here is that they're implementing certain systems in here that they spent years building. It took 3 years of building this and all that. That's what I'm talking
I
about.
love to hear that.
This ain't no flash in the pan. They
Hmm.
just started working on, and oh man, so this is what, like what we're saying about, like what Sim's saying, and like what we're ultimately in line with when it comes to Madden. Cause Madden is on, well, see, this is the ultimate goal. We want to have this kind of player movement and this kind of body types and this kind of, no. I'm not concerned about what you plan on doing down the line. I'm talking about now.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing this year? Is this going to be Madden 21 when next gen comes out? What is going to happen with this game? That's the kind of stuff that we need to know, and we don't know. We don't know. We have no clue, no information, no nothing. All we have is that same CG video that was put out back in what, their EA Playtime, whatever, when they did that in the summer. That's all we got. And that little bullet point post. That's it. We don't have anything else to go by, and that's what I'm saying. And look, even from a FIFA standpoint, they're in the same boat. FIFA and Madden are in the same boat.
Hmm.
So these are two games that are supposed to be, when you get it, you bring it over to next gen, and you get that upgrade or whatever. But the thing is it even going to be a worthy upgrade? Heck, the even better question is the game even going to be coming out right now? I mean, not right now, but when it comes to that generation, is that game going to honestly come out? We honestly don't know. So that all remains to be seen. I see somebody in the chat making a point about it and saying, it may not come out till December, but regardless, what are we even looking forward to? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what we're looking forward to at this point. So the game may be just a simple port over, a mere port over as far as we're concerned. So here, go ahead and take them
If
off, honey,
that
okay?
joint don't come out until
If
December, they drop the ball.
Yeah, if it's not until December, that's a
Point
fair.
blank. Period.
Hold on here, come here, baby. So yeah, so it can't be that cannot be the case scenario. Like, they have to announce it. And if they are going to push, if it's not going to come out until December, because remember though, Sim, and remember this, people. These guys never said it was coming out at launch. So
Mm-hmm.
I never heard EA say this was a
Very
launch
true.
title. So we could be sitting up saying, "Oh man, this is garbage." The only thing they said, see what happened, we as people assumed because you buy this version and when next gen comes out, you get the port over. They never said when. They
Very
never
true.
gave a street date. So that's the one thing to
Sneaky
remember, guys.
devils.
Yeah, they never set the street date. So that may be why it's free. That may be why it's free because it may not come out till January or February. Who knows? We don't know when that's going to happen. So they selling the game. What look? They selling the game right now. Amazon deals and Target and stuff. They selling it for $30. You know what I'm saying? So just saying, like, why would they mark it down in half right now? If they, I mean, I'm just saying,
They
just
selling
think
wolf
about
tickets. That's what they selling.
yeah, it's a little ticket.
That's what they selling.
But
Can't get it past us. Oh man.
so that's the
Wow.
thing. Bear in mind when it comes to that. So we just gotta wait and see what ends up happening. Because, like I said, no blog, no videos, no trailers, no nothing to go by. And the console comes out in a month, in less than a month. Excuse me. And this look at the other games that are slated to come out. You
Mm.
didn't see full gameplay of Miles Morales. You seen Assassin's Creed Valhalla just yesterday. They put out their full gameplay trailer. Rad Brad got an hour and a half long video of the first introductory portion of the game. So these games that are going to be coming out on the next gen, they're showing them. They're showing all of them off. And we know how 2K rolls. So it's like them putting this information out now makes sense. The little bit they're showing. In the next few weeks, it wouldn't surprise me to see some kind of gameplay be showcased like
Mm-hmm.
prior to the game, the consoles and stuff shipping out. So this is what I'm saying. And Madden EA ain't shown nothing. No FIFA, no Madden, just
Mm-hmm.
nothing at all whatsoever showcased yet. Yeah, don't be surprised if this thing ain't coming out till next year. Don't be shocked. Or at least late December, like my man has said. It's possible. That's very possible. So, but once again,
I think
like
they
Sim said,
scared. They scared.
it they gotta be. You know what I'm saying? Because some people are getting real it's like it appears as if we can't take Twitter as if that's the end all be all in terms of the vibe that the entire Madden fan base feels. This is just a small portion.
Mm-hmm.
Even if well, regardless if it's mud, head to head, franchise, whatever. Okay? People are disgruntled and people are upset with how EA is and look at the numbers and everything else and all that stuff being bad. But it's not going to mean anything if unless EA comes through with another game and drops the ball, meaning the next gen joint. If the next gen, when they showcase next gen and it comes out, and if it's flat, they're done. Like they're done. You know what I'm saying? so
Especially if they don't
so
come out. Man, listen. Their best bet is like we said before. Y'all need to show something and fast. Because
yes.
2K has shown now, you can argue how much they show, but they've shown a gameplay trailer. They've shown clips of the stuff they're talking about in action. They have
Hmm.
two blogs. If you mess around and don't come out until after launch and 2K gets their head start, they already got you in current gen where they released their game literally like what 5 or so days after.
Yeah.
Man, y'all keep playing, keep playing. That's all I'm gonna say. Keep
Yeah.
playing, EA. You gonna find yourselves short end of the stick, brother.
Yeah, because look, think about it. Think about it, Sam. The later they wait, that's lesser football season remaining. Now, I don't we don't know how
Yep.
basketball is going to start this year. But the point is that you will have people legitimately convert and go over and play 2K because they're gonna want that sports fix. We ain't got FIFA on next gen. Think about it. Next gen consoles, as much as people trying to get their hands on this thing, next gen consoles, and the only sports game you got that's honestly a next gen release is NBA 2K. 2K about to get a nice little landfill of people playing their game. They're about to get some spillage. They're gonna get people play that would play FIFA and people that would play PES and all that stuff. They're gonna get them people, man. That's what's gonna mess around and happen. Especially if they game hits. Cause look, they're doing a blog next week where they're gonna talk about AI. They're gonna talk about the badge system and all that stuff, my player in the neighborhood and everything. So it's like they're talking about all their marquee things and they put these blogs out. They didn't put the teaser video out. They put little snippets in these in to showcase what they're talking about, and now they're about to hit you with the biggest ticket item, which is their neighborhood stuff and badge progression systems and all that stuff. That's going to be huge. Okay, that's going to be huge. That's what people really, really want to know about, especially when it pertains to 2K. They really want to know about that. So they're gonna have to step it up. So we'll see. Like I said, we'll see what happens, but mm, it ain't looking too good for Madden. That's not when you're quiet like this. Now if they come out with some news and everything, and they hit things with a full court press. Okay, now they'll be solid depending upon what they give us. So they can't give us crap and think that's gonna be okay. Like whatever they give us has got to be hot. So we'll see.
Man, let me ask you this: what are you expecting? Because I don't know if I know we've kind of talked about it here, but I don't know if I've actually just heard from you
Hmm.
what you're expecting and what you would hope to see in this this next gen product, if you will, if that's what they want to call it.
For Madden, I mean, I'm expecting an organic gameplay experience. Like I'm expecting the basics.
Right.
That's what I'm expecting. Basic fundamental football to actually be displayed. Or in a some in not in a somewhat in a organic fashion. As organic as possible. Non-tethered two-man animations, things that we would bring up in the studio sim that would be like simple things that would be declared as hurdles are actually conquered now because oh man, due to the hardware we're able to do blah say blah and whoop de whoop. Oh, okay, bet. That's what I'm expecting. If they don't do anything like that and it's just more of the exact same old messy stuff that they've had going on forever, no, we're gonna have a misunderstanding. I'm gonna be going straight ahead. I'm just gonna be playing 2K. I'm like, oh, that's what EA did. All right. And I'm going right ahead. Let me go ahead and fire out this 2K. They let me know. They let me know where they head and heart at. And that's it. Like I'm done at that point. I'm like, no, I'm done because I'm just gonna play 2K because that's where it's at. Like, I mean, yeah, it has its problems and it has its issues just like other games do. That's perfectly fine. But this is where I'm going to be at. Period. I'm gonna learn how to play this game. I'm gonna understand its mechanics, and I'm gonna go ahead and play and have fun. Whether I play on the park, any of that stuff or whatever or not, that's what I'm gonna do, and have a great time while I do it. No, man, these dudes are ready to come out when next gen debuts. They're ready. People gonna be buying that Mamba edition up and everything just so that they can make sure, hey man, I got on this gen or next, or just get next gen. Just get the next gen version and wait. But still, oh man, you gotta do better.
Yeah,
Gotta
man.
do much
They
more.
have to. Yeah, like you said, man. They just have to deliver, man. Like don't give us the same experience, man. Show us what your intentions were by you saying, built from. Well, no, they didn't say that here. I'm talking about 2K. But show us what your
Oh,
intentions are by basically saying, optimized experience, yada yada yada. What does that mean?
right.
What is the optimized experience? That's all I want to know. And like Smitty said, man, can you give us an experience where it's more organic gameplay. And I know we keep beating that dead horse, but y'all have to understand, man. Smitty and I and Azure, we've been there. We know the kind of tools and things that they've have went the things that they've actually attempted to put in the game. That supposedly there were some restrictions or things that they've attempted in the past, and I won't go into specifics. I've kind of mentioned them here before, so if you guys remember, um things didn't necessarily work because of the memory and all of this stuff. Remember, Smitty came here on the
Yeah,
show and he
yeah.
he told you guys that somebody told him that certain things are just not capable on these consoles, which again, an excuse because if how is it 2K is able to do it? How was MLB able to do it? And again, people can argue how good or bad those games are, but the point I'm making is how were they able to put so much into those games and push it to the limit? But for whatever reason, Madden is always held back because of the restrictions of the console and the
Hmm.
limitations. Like, how is that? How do you explain it? How about these other companies? So I want to see those things at least, you know, come into fruition. And guys, I wish I could show y'all this game, man. How many times has this happened to you guys? I just got a clean interception. Matter of fact, man, and I'm playing it on my computer. I'm glad y'all can't see us tonight because Smitty can see. I'm playing on my monitor because I'm basically playing through the Elgato. So that way, I can still be looking right here at the computer and still be on Skype and blah blah blah. But I got an interception, right? It was a stupid, ridiculous overthrow by my opponent. Vince Williams gets an interception, catches it low, rolls on the ground. Nobody touches him, but the play is blown dead. Why is that?
Hmm.
How many times did that happen to y'all? Even when you play against the CPU, why is the play dead? Stuff like that, man, is just again that helps feed into the narrative of the game is scripted because the game is probably expecting he got touched. Nobody touched him. What you know what I mean? Like why is explain
Hmm.
to me why that I couldn't get up. I mean, it was one of the quick rolls. Caught it low, rolled right back up on his feet, but the play is blown dead. Oh, I'm about to
Mm.
I'm about got to take a timeout. See, talking to y'all, I was about to lose 5 yards right there. It's I don't know, man. It's just again, guys. I don't want to sound like a over basher. I'm just passionate about the things that could be better. And the reason why I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. I'll take it down this road really quick. The reason why I still play Madden is because honestly, football is my sport, man. And I'm sorry, there's not another game right now in the market that I can play that I'm going to get any semblance of satisfaction of football. No, nothing close. Um, I have maximum football. You guys know how I feel about that for the most part. I'm trying, and I've even said that I was going to put out some feedback videos and stuff, but I just can't. It's hard for me to stay connected. I am gonna try to get some videos out, man. But the truth of the matter is that game is just not. It's not a better game on the field than Madden. And for people who think it is, just stop it, man. Look at this, man. But Madden is frustrating as heck. It's all outdoors. It's so frustrating. The users, even like right now, of course, I threw an interception that had no business being an interception. Okay, so they slowed down the lurking, right? But still, when the guy is anywhere close to the area, they still get that stupid, ridiculous animation. Y'all know what I'm talking about, how they're still able to turn and spin and get put in position. It's frustrating, man. But like I said, we have a relatively decent time in this league, and that's why I play it. I actually have the luxury. Who knows how long that's gonna last? We'll see. But I have the luxury of not having to pay for Madden. So again, it's easier to stomach. But it's so frustrating, man, because again, football is my sport. Now I'm gonna have to be forced to learn and really dissect basketball on a level that I don't know basketball, but I'm gonna have to do that because that's my franchise of choice anyway, even right now. And it's gonna force me to do that, man, because it's again as good as 2K appears to be looking and how they're gonna be coming and representing on next gen. That's where I'm gonna be at, man. That's where I'm gonna be. If Madden don't give us anything worthy, that's where I will be. That's what you will see on the channel, and you will only get little trinkets of feedback from here and there. But we'll see. Here's to wishful thinking. Hopefully, what I said and what I still believe, I'm gonna ride this. Ride my theory until the wheels fall off it. I still think it is going to be a different game. I do. I really feel like there's gonna be something different. I really feel like they know they can't come with the same. I don't know. I'm just trying to trying to have some type of high hopes, man. That you know what I'm saying, Smitty? That you would hope
Yeah,
that they
absolutely.
know they can't come with the same BS again and again and again. And this
Yeah.
time they're finally gonna deliver. They've been working in the background again because they've heard about 2K and what they doing over there, and you got people in the building now from 2K. Maybe not OG because he kind of just got there, but you got Rob Jones and people like that to be like, yo, y'all, he been there for a minute. He's been there long enough to be like, yo, man, we better come with it. Because let me tell you what them boys doing over there. So we'll see. We shall see. That's all I can say. We shall see. Hopefully my theory comes to fruition, but if it doesn't, you know, what you gonna do, man? We're gonna have to live with the nonsense. Um,
Mommy.
I don't know, man. Do we got anything else, man? I figure we on here. Is anything else to talk about, man? That's noteworthy.
No, there was anything else that I had or that I could think of. It was we really touched on all the key things. So I don't have anything else to think of at this point, at least.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But
Mm.
I will say it is interesting. It's very interesting that we haven't heard anything at all
Mommy.
whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I understand their marketing strategy, I guess, but it's mighty strange. You would think if the game was coming out at launch, you would think that they would want to remind people what's coming. Like Smitty said, we are literally pretty much 30 days away for the most part, of both consoles being out, not coming. Like they will be out at this time, the same day in the month of November. Both consoles will have hit the shelves, and some of you lucky people will have a PS5. Me, on the other hand,
Yeah.
still trying to make it happen, man. But oh my God! And see, just like here's another thing that happens to you guys quite often, and I know it does to y'all. You break through the line, you get about an 8, 9 yard gain. You end up running into a muddle of three or four people, one of them being one of your players. Immediately, flag comes out and it says blocking in the back. How does that happen every single time the same way? I need somebody to explain that. It happens the same way every time to where you automatically know what it is. You know right off the jump, oh, okay, I know what they about to call here. That's what we're talking about, folks. How about this one? How about the pass interference that they call anytime the ball is overthrown and your defender is in a better position. You are ahead of the receiver. What happens? That triggered animation showing that your defender supposedly is impeding the progress of the receiver, and they call a DPI. How many times has that happened to you guys? These are the things we are talking about, folks. The nonsense. That's what we're talking about. It happens repeatedly, and I'm sick of it, man. So, but that's all we got, man. I don't have anything else tonight, man. I'm gonna, lick my wounds and finish this game here that I'm currently down 3-0. And we'll see what happens in the playoffs, but who really cares? But all right, Smitty, before we sound off, anything else you got for the people?
Other than we appreciate y'all coming through and hanging out here with us. Again, we apologize for the technical difficulties that we had. But yeah, man. Like always, we appreciate y'all, and we definitely will be back on next week. For some more. Hopefully, there's more news out there, and possibly we could get our guests. That weren't able to come through. Maybe we can get them in on next Saturday. So
Yeah, hopefully, man, we can make that happen. And yeah, that's all we got,
yeah.
man. So we will catch you
Mm-hmm.
guys later. Be safe. Y'all already know what it is out here, man. Be safe, be smart, be responsible. God bless. Good night. And we'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.
All right, holla at you, Smitty.
All right, brother.
All right.
You take it easy.